The swells changed it. So I've done a video on my eating my salmon in the car when I picked it up from the butcher's. Some full fat Philadelphia and some salted crackers. Delicious. Come on, fishy. See some other people fishing. There's been one or two bits and pieces caught. See, this is when it gets tangled like that. This sort of makes it a real vibrate-y sort of. Very difficult to sort of retrieve. You're not actually fishing when it's like that, so it does happen from time to time. You just have to let the wind come from off the sea again. I don't know if you can see that. It's very cold. Look at that cloud, look. Look at that cloud moving there, look. Incredible. Look how fast he's going. Absolutely incredible. There's a ship out there as well. Real gusty, just come up now. That wind, look. Oh, he says, saying something. When you go fishing like this, I cannot emphasize the importance of a warm jacket. I mean, almost like your winter jacket, even in summer. That is one of my biggest assets I think I've got. I've seen so many anglers call it a day, even when they're enjoying themselves, when that wind changes. See, look at them guys, look, now leaving, look. Just a gust just come up, look, that's enough to make them turn away from fishing. Look at that. They've said, bugger this. They've said, bugger you. So, a warm jacket. And I have one. I have one in my. I got a fleece as well. Your legs are okay. If you're in shorts, don't worry about your legs. They can hack it. But it's your upper body and your head. Have a hat. Keep the sun off. I cannot emphasize the importance of suntan cream. Your legs can burn. Your face, your lips, ears. And you want some drink. Make sure you got some fizzy drink, nothing too sugary, it's my preference. If you got some sandwiches, even better. What, my eyes? Got all suntan cream starting to sting my eyes. That was the other eye when I first got down here, now it's the other, no, that's that eye. Oh dear. So we just keep plodding away. Could have a go in the surf, but just washes over. Somebody lost a fish earlier on. Had one on. I think it was a carwoy though. One minute he had it on and the next minute it just went completely slack. I was like, Christ. He sort of looked around at his mate and sort of went, bastard. But yeah, we're sort of, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to sort of hang on really. I'm playing around most of the day. Very addictive, this sort of fishing. Very addictive. Every once in a while you get these lunker waves come over. You want to be careful not to sort of be standing on that edge. It's quite deep in there. It's a good 6 to 8 foot. If you go in, I mean, some people wear a life jacket. I used to have one for this, but I don't bother anymore. I sort of I should do really, but if it gets too tricky, I just stop fishing. I'm not that bothered anymore. If the conditions are that bad, then you shouldn't really be fishing. But that's probably just that wind which just come through. It's, was hoping we were going to have a fish to show you, but it's not looking likely. You never know. You just never know. The smoking gun is the fact that the local regulars who live here aren't all fishing. This time last week there was 22 people fishing, and well, there's been a few people down today, but there've been different sort of, you know, they're like weekend people have come down today. I mean, those lads came down and they brought a cool box. They brought a giant bloody cool box down with them. Must have been like a 50-litre one, I don't know, 60-litre cool box. And they didn't catch one fish, not fucking one. And he lugged it all the way down here, think they were going to make a killing. That's the way it is sometimes. I've had, off this point here, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I probably had 15 Australian salmon carwai, all about 5 or 6 pound, with the odd 7 or 8 pounder, one after the other. There was loads of them here, absolutely loads. There's one or two fish here now. I can see from what the other anglers, and I've had a couple on today. But if I had my carwai gear on, I'd probably get a couple today, probably. But we're looking for that sport fish. We're looking for that sport fish. When I say sport fish, it's deemed a sea run trout or a Chinook salmon. You got to have a license for those fish. Regulated. You get rangers down here. Check your license. It's fair enough. That's how it always is. I've got a little bit of leader here, 15 pound. It's called Amnesia. It's made in the USA. It's lovely stuff, and it's just a bit clearer than this stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I've actually had salmon hooked straight onto the braid. When the braid comes straight down to the lure, I've actually hooked and landed, you know, Chinook salmons like that. So, you know, I think it depends a bit on water clarity. It might not even depend at all. If they're sort of agitated by the lure enough to snap at it, then, you know, they're not bothered about your leader. If you're going after sea run trout, that's different. If your braid is quite sort of almost like, you know, quite a whitey or bluey clear sort of thing, and it's a thin diameter, you'll probably get away with it, but I wouldn't risk it. Buy some trout leader. If you're going after the smallest sort of fish, you know, 3 or 4 pound, or you know, even a decent sized one. It just depends on what, if there's, you know, what sort of terrain is there, whether there's many boulders and stuff like that. But I've used 15 pound in a fast sort of flowing river, and anything up to sort of 8 pound trout leader, what you would use in the lakes and things like that. So for trout, sea run trout, get yourself some trout leader. 15 pound is probably a sensible one. 10 or 15 pound. But for your Chinook salmon, you know, you could probably tie your braid straight to the lure. Leaders are good when you're getting abrasion from your casting and retrieving. May not get abrasion all the time, but you know, if you're rock fishing or you're fishing over a rocky bottom, stony bottom, you know, big swells, and it's making your line sort of chafe, then you want a load of, you know, leader, which you're almost, you know, going to have for, I don't know, an X amount of casting. You're going to chop it off and start again. So if you're doing that, if you're using up a lot of leader to fish, just buy some cheap monofilament. Don't bother buying that reels and reels of bloody, you know, the expensive stuff. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, don't be if you're buying the expensive stuff, good on you, because I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. It's good to use good terminal tackle, but there's a lot of situations where, you know, you don't necessarily need it. Right, I think we're going to give it a little while longer. I think that's it for now. So I hope you've, you know, there's a few little tips and feeders on there, and, you know, I try not to inundate you too much with information, but okay, so I'll catch you later, and, you know, if you can subscribe to my channel, and we'll do some more videos, and we'll see how we get on next time. Okay, take care.